Welcome to a scene in Rage Across Scotland. Somewhere, the scene is taking place on the sept of, I don't remember the name, and Cole is basically just practicing shifting. You know, it's kind of going into Hamon and going into Lupus and into Krynos and into Hispo, and then, just kind of shifting between and all over the place. And right now he's in Lupus, and right now he's just running through the forests of the sept, not too much on the outskirts, going in between trees and such. What's everyone else doing in the meantime?
It's a great question. I assume, I guess, just be on the Sept and Krynos chilling and maybe meditating because I actually do have that skill. So,
Alrighty. So I guess maybe we'll say that as Cole's running by, you can actually hear a wolf, some sort of wolf padding in between the snow. Not exactly being quiet. You maybe have heard like a trip and maybe a little bit of a whimper. You hear that kind of noise. Sounds like someone got snow in their face.
This is the actual amount of ignoring that would probably be done to that because I have the concentration merit. So all this noise is probably going on around him, and it's just tunnel vision.
Zahara's probably walking around in Lupus as well, so she probably heard him when he tripped and fell in the snow. So she'd probably bound over to him to see what's up.
You can just kind of see him he's actually trying to do the whole. He actually doesn't even think to shake off the snow. He doesn't even do it right. He's just kind of squirming it off, and he's not doing it how wolves normally do it when they shake all their fur.
She'll look at him and kind of nudge him before proceeding to shake herself out, trying to show him how to do it.
Okay. I'll just make it just for fun. I'm gonna make it I might do it the dexterity roll.
Oh jeez, don't botch. I don't even want to know what that would
just
be
to
like.
see if I want to see if he botches, but
oh jeez.
he kind of looks at you and goes, "Okay, so you kind of so you move your legs back a bit, okay." And you kind of hear him muttering that in Gar. It's very strange. It's very Hamid talk in Gar in a Gar language. Just doesn't. And almost doesn't even.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Don't think too much about it. Just do it.
He just nods. Is it +1 to Dex and Lupus, or?
Yeah,
yeah, I think so.
1, 2, yeah, something. Well, it's 1 in Krynos, so it'd be 2 in Lupus, I think, to Dex.
Let me
he does okay.
check real quick. Oh, so it's +2 Dex in Lupus.
Okay, so that's good. So he shakes the fur off, a little bit of the snow off, but not exactly all of it. But hey, he did it. Good boy. He says, "Thanks for the advice."
It is not a problem.
So what are you doing out here bounding in the woods? I'm surprised you're still here.
Yes. I was asked to stay, so I thought I would for the moment until I get another message to deliver. I'm currently trying to. I do not know the word that would be used. I am restless, so I am out walking.
Getting out that energy.
Indeed.
Hmm. I'm not sure if Pinball's still meditating, but you can probably see
No,
her
probably coming out of it as it becomes clear there's something more going on than just someone gallivanting about and
tripping like a freaking idiot.
and he'll slowly kind of to snow kind of based on hearing mostly just way to where they are.
So you could probably hear the footsteps, so he kind of looks over to his wherever Pinball is and says, "Oh, hey, Wiz." I can't believe he just nonchalantly. If that's even possible to say in car. It's like he does a growl, but it's like a half growl. He does it.
And he'll say, he'll pause and nod and say, how are you? And then it's like a pause and kind of makes sure and notices there's two different things around you two doing.
I tripped and had a bunch of snow on me. Zara helped me out. I'm not exactly good at the whole shake the fur thing.
Give it
Things
time.
like that
It
take
will
some getting
come back.
used to.
And then and then he feels like an itch on his ear, and then his first instinct is to use his front paw to try and do it. It's just not working. And he says, "Oh yeah, you use. Oh wow, you can really ah." And then he uses his back leg to itch the back of his ear. He's like, "Man, you can really reach around. Man, this is weird." Sorry, I'm just looking at so Pinball Wizard, what are you doing out here? And I noticed
just taking some time to myself.
Just admiring the cold weather.
I guess you could say that.
What was that you cut out there, Sean?
I guess you could say that.
You know, for you, I know this is a weird question I got to bring up all of a sudden, but what was it like for you to get used to both the Hamid and the lupus way of things?
He pauses for a second, I'm thinking. I guess kind of like how it is for you to learn lupus things takes time, and since there usually is more Hamids on the set, that was easier to pick up, but eventually you learn enough to.
Oh, also, I meant to ask you something. What? I know I've asked you about the children of Gaia before, but
Mhm.
well, they've been telling me that I'm gonna have to, once I prove myself, I guess, to do my rite of passage, I have to find the right tribe for me. At least that's what they've been telling me.
Mm-hmm.
So I got the gist of it before, but if you're actually in, what is that exactly that you do?
Is there anything specific you wanted to know about the tribe is, or
Yeah, like the day to day, or the kind of, I guess. I mean, you guys seem to do missions or tasks. What do they tend to be?
well, depends on your auspice, and it depends on what sept you are, because still the sept is important despite what your tribe might be. But for the children of Gaia, the focus a lot of times is on mostly on the 10 of the litany of combating the worm wherever it breeds and wherever it dwells, but in more, I guess you could say, unconventional ways to most Guru, targeting some of the things that sometimes people don't see when they're doing not necessarily just the spiritual aspect of it, but the emotions that lead to that path.
It's so. What kind of unconventional ways? I mean, I did notice that you didn't like to get too
Well,
bloody. I
well, I
noticed you
am
tend
an
to use your
Arun,
fists
so I
more than your
guess.
claws. I noticed you
Yeah.
tend to use your fists more than your claws.
Yeah, because it's a bit easier, I guess, but this, but the the worm is destruction and corruption and sort of things, and indeed, sometimes when something is so corrupted, it has to be cleansed or removed. But sometimes, if you can do preventative measures, they are much more important than simply just wholesale destroying something. If you can do something to resolve the situation that does not require the destruction of the person in question, or the place in question, or the thing in question, or prevent them from even having that moment where they can be corrupted.
Hmm. Why is it that, from what I've been told, it only seems to be it's your tribe and perhaps what I call the Stargazers that seem to have that kind of philosophy?
Each tribe has their own perspective of how they do things, and they have their experiences that speak to why they do things the way they do. Um, I guess how we've experienced things as a tribe and how we see it best to handle that situation.
It's looks as Zahara. When your tribe, I hear you guys are messengers. What kind of thanks for more? That's not all. I'm sure you guys do more,
There
right?
are, yes, there are a few other things that we do. Um, secrets, we know a few things. Um,
Secrets.
mainly, a few, said. I mean, when one deals in messages, would they no doubt deal in secrets as well?
That makes sense.
Or at least they would know some. But I guess our main thing is in allowing us to go back to our home. So I'm not good at explaining things. My apologies.
It's okay. I guess maybe I have been asking so many questions of others. I know
And
this is
that's a good thing.
well. Sometimes
Just
I remember I pissed off a couple of other Gar back at the Eating Cavern. I was just simply I was asking some questions about about I think kinfolk, and it seems that I hit a nerve somewhere.
It's to be expected. You're a cub. Your responsibility is to learn so that you can be a member of Guru society. There's going to be questions that learn that perhaps be worded, and you'll learn from that experience. And that's the entire point of being a cub.
Exactly. If they don't answer your questions, it might be best to just ignore them afterwards.
Probably
Understand
an idea.
that you need to learn.
He nods. He looks to you guys and says, well, since I've been asking a lot of questions about everyone else, you guys have any questions for me? No, I don't really have much to say though.
Well, since you're getting to that point in time when you have to decide what tribe it is that you wish to petition for, the tribal spirit in question, what are you looking for in a tribe?
That's a good question. Kind of thinks for a moment. And he definitely looks stumped. He just kind of sits there silent and he goes, I suppose just I'm not sure if, from what I've been told about our rage and Luna, he looks up at the moon if it's there. And he says that the idea of calm isn't exactly something that's always something that you can find. But I guess it would be just a calm home they try to help people, but also fight for them and defend them. I suppose that's what I'm looking for.
I think you'll find it very easy to find the second thing. And the first thing, not so easy to find. It's very hard to be calm when rage that boils up in Guru naturally sometimes consumes their emotions. It takes a lot of practice and a lot of self-control to be able to master handling that, especially with those closer to the full face of Luna, who a lot more rage.
Kind of looks to both of you. There's no real choice in being able to suppress it, is there?
There are ways to put it off to avoid it, but there will be a time when it boils over, it's turned up too hot. And the best you can do is hope that either you're there with your pack and they are able to calm you, or that cost is minimal.
Yikes.
It
Do
also
people-
helps sometimes to have some place to divert that, to keep that rage from to use it in ways that keep you from going over the edge.
Can this rage? You kind of see, some twitches in like the top of his like muzzle. Can it come in the form of anxiousness?
It can, possibly. I could see that if you become so anxious that you feel like you must act, yes, that could be a trigger.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can not only frenzy in anger, but you can frenzy in fear as well.
He nods.
To many in the Guru Nation, that would be a dishonor worse than actually frenzying in anger and harming one's own.
See. How do you handle the rage?
Me.
Both of you, if I may ask.
Me personally, I try to find things to focus on. I occasionally meditate. I occasionally spend time training and honing my skills. If I'm taking my aggression out on a target that is not living or against something that wouldn't cause such a problem, it's about channeling. It's about finding some way to divert that energy so it doesn't consume you.
Do all Garu have this philosophy on rage? I'm guessing no.
Probably not, though some people, you could say, like possibly even the Get, would say that they have a way of doing that similarly, except they take their vengeance and anger and hate out on minions of the worm, ripping them and rending them end to end. There are ways of controlling their rage, it's just expressed in different ways.
I guess that's the
Some
weird
less
thing.
savory than others.
What tribes deal with the spirits the most, or have a lot of interest in exploring what's out there?
If exploring is a bit more of your thing, well, as a messenger going all over the world, I would say Silent Striders have that down.
I see.
And if it's things of the Umbra, certain secrets like that, I would assume that the antenna would be for that, though you're a little too, well, I can't tell. That's kind of making a brash assumption.
What do you mean?
How good of a tan does he have? He turns over to to Zahara.
Well, he's not compared to Zahara.
No, like Like his communication is, considering how Native American the Ukten are, how
Yeah,
good
yeah,
is
yeah,
his
yeah.
tan?
Yeah.
He there's definitely a tan there, but it's not. It's I guess you could say it's like an olive rather than a.
So more like a Greek or Mediterranean.
It's like Greek and Mediterranean, but he has a very like Scandinavian face.
She'll pretty much convert all of that to, she'll say all of that to pinball.
Say all of what? Oh, did you send him a message?
No, she was, he
But no,
asked her what he looked like, and I'm lazy, I'm tired,
Oh, okay.
so I didn't want to, in my bed.
He also has blonde hair, though.
with blonde hair. Well, there's the killer.
There's
Well, I
the
can't
killer.
say that. I have a friend. I have a friend in Topeka, Kansas, where I'm from. That yeah, he's half Native American. I think Prairie Band is the tribe. Except he has blonde hair and freckles and is probably as white as I am. Oh, probably not as white as I am,
What's
but
interesting though is he doesn't
you
have the
get the
blonde.
gist.
He doesn't have the blonde hair and blue eyes. He's got the blonde hair and like really, like. Oh wait, no, but damn it, his lupus picture has blue eyes. Never mind. Well, can you have different irises in lupus and Hamid form?
I don't know. I've never really asked that question before.
I guess it would be the same. So never mind. He has blue eyes. I could always change it. I actually always thought of him having brown.
Well, I mean, at this point, I'd say do what you think your character looks like, and not so much what the picture looks like.
There we go. So yeah, we'll say yeah, he has like really black eyes compared to the picture. Like the picture is just what his wolf form looks like.
Mm-hmm. From what I understand, and this could just conjecture, that sounds like that you're too. I guess the word would be European for them.
I thought we're Garo though. I thought we're not really human anymore. Or at least that we have a spiritual side. It's really confusing. They talked about it. I don't.
The Ukten are one of the tribes of North America that lean heavily towards the native peoples there and tend to be selective
Kind of tilts his head.
in that manner.
Seriously?
Indeed.
That's peculiar. Do any other tribes do that sort of thing?
Some do. I mean, you have the Red Talons who have been missing for quite some time. They won't select anybody unless they are lupus.
I've heard tales about the Red Talons.
The Black Furies, unless of course you're a Metis, generally they will not accept any males who have had the first change. And of course, is selective based, personality based on their tribal totem. They're looking for people who they think fit the ideals set forth by their tribal totem.
Right. Just never expected that. It's like, well, I have gray fur. Does that mean other tribes where if I have gray fur, I'm not really allowed in?
Strangely enough, a lot of the exceptions, well, I guess that can't be entirely fair.
Like if like does this fur, this gray fur stop me from going into?
I mean, it might be that you are not considered to be a purebred of that tribe, but otherwise, no.
So why does the human side matter?
That is a great question, and maybe one that should be posed to them if you feel that it's one worth asking.
That's so peculiar. Oh, I guess there's more history to this than I thought. Maybe. I mean, I don't want to make light of anything, but he wants to like put his paw over his head to like rub his head, and, and then he puts it back.
I'm trying to carefully not like take all of my out of character knowledge and just kind of vomit in character when my character doesn't have it. So works for the character of, instead of expecting to get all the answers from Pinball Wizard, he kind of takes the question, goes, I don't know, why don't you find the answer through your own explorations?
That's fair. Cesaro. You have a very unique form. Like, it doesn't look like any wolf I've seen. Wait, Zahara in Lupus or in Hamid?
Yeah, she's in Lupus, and she looks like an ancient Egyptian jackal. She's even got all the gold jewelry to go along with it.
Pure Breed 4 will do that to you.
Yes.
Looks awesome.
It does.
Well, no, he says that in character. Looks awesome.
Oh, shit, my bad. She'll kind of look down at herself and nod. I considered a pure breed, I suppose, if you use the terms that Pinball Wizard used. Since my tribe is originally from Egypt, we tend to take on the forms of them. My Krynos form looks like what the depictions of Anubis would look like.
Really?
Indeed.
That's kind of cool.
She'll nod her head. It is interesting, yes. Would you like to see?
Looks at Pinball. Oh, wait.
I should just come into scenes with a blindfold over my eyes to get just for me and everyone else in the scene. Just you can't see me, it's I can't see you.
Goes, if you're offering.
It would be an educational experience for you, I would assume. So I see no negatives to it.
Cool.
Yeah, she'll just kind of stand up and take a few steps back first, but then switch into Hamid or no, Krynos. Yes, there we go, Krynos. And, she'll just kind of, and the jewelry will morph to fit her larger form because she totally dedicated it.
Wicked.
Yes.
Wait, she has Rite of Talisman adaptation on them?
Mm-hmm. She does.
I love
Yes.
that ritual so much.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god, I love Metamorph so much because I don't have to roll. Oh, it's beautiful.
Oh yeah, it's super sexy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think my next character is going to have that because that sounds like a fun thing to play with.
Oh yeah, like you can just say, "Oh, I'm switching to this form." You don't have to spend rage or anything.
It's 7 merit points, so it immediately like just shut down. There's your merit points spent. Have a nice day, but it's
pretty
awesome.
Much. Yeah.
Tolerance are the ones that's like it's worth 7 merit points, but it was 7 points well spent.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, considering like if it's for a long-term campaign, like that's 7 merit points worth spent.
Yeah.
And then the 5.1 resistant to worm emanations.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that one banned from this venue though? I think, or was it?
Same with silver tolerance.
Okay, I knew it was something. Yeah, she'll kind of stand there and she'll even do a little twirl. And she does. She looks very much like you would expect, Anubis to look like. Tall, black, sleek fur, etc., etc.
Whoa. If there's a word for Garo and for whoa, he probably says, very interesting.
She'll switch back into Lupus and nod. Yes.
And then he says, "So, like cool jackal dudes, are they like tribes that look like bears?"
Oh no, never. She wouldn't know about the girl. Never mind.
Yeah, the fair thing wouldn't. I think most of the Cleats would be like, that's a great question.
Um.
Come back to me on that later.
uh,
She'll just shrug. I don't know. That would probably be a question for perhaps an elder.
He nods. Okay, fair enough. Hmm. Well, I don't really know what other questions I have right now, but thank you guys for answering them. Appreciate it.
Mhm. Whatever choice you do decide to make as far as your tribe is concerned, I appreciate that you're asking these questions. It's something that should be thought carefully on and not taken lightly. It's it's not just a group of people. It's aside from the pack that you choose to join, a group of people that will be your family for the rest of your life.
So choose your family very, very carefully.
I guess that'll be the third time. Let's hope nothing bad happens to him.
I have faith that resolve itself.
Yeah, I hope so too. What if? Well, I know this is a strange opinion. I know it's, you guys barely know me, but I still thought I'd ask. Kind of looks around up in the trees. Is there anything that's shady about all this to you?
About what?
In
Like,
what way?
is there, like I hear all this like glorious stuff about defenders of Gaia and stopping worm taint and but there has to be some more to it than that, right? Like there's got to be some skeletons in the closet. Like you don't build legends up in humanity about wolves and people being scared of them for nothing, right? Like, have you heard anything weird?
Mm.
And he says it in a little bit more of a hushed tone. Because I have a feeling if I asked that question to the other guys, they probably wouldn't tell me. And
Kind of like as if to, because he doesn't want to deal with the heavy burden of the question, he kind of gives us a broad grin and a chuckle, and he's like, "Are you sure you're a theurge and not a ragabash?"
all theories are about knowledge, right?
Indeed.
Yes.
Is looking for knowledge. That's all.
It's, to put it simply, everyone and everything has. What is the phrase you used? Skeletons in the closet. But the real question is if you had someone to tell you those, would you want to hear it or live in ignorance?
I don't think my job is to be ignorant.
You do have a point.
I mean, if I'm a theurge and I'm supposed to help stop worm tainty stuff, then this crazy Machiavellian things I've heard about, then I guess I can't really afford to be ignorant. And after seeing dragons flying in the sky and Tolkien elves fighting weird, messed up creatures and whatever the hell that thing was that the others fought, I don't think I can really say that I'm ignorant anymore. At least not fully.
Indeed.
That happened, right? Like we all saw. Well, perceived.
We
Sorry.
did indeed, as far as I.
I find it funny because he's basically biting his tongue because wait, both of you were in on that. Oh shit.
Yeah, we were both in on it.
Yeah.
He's just like, do I want to? Do I want to?
Do it.
Nah, you guys keep going. I got to think of a good moment for that because he can actually see the outlines of you guys, and it's flipping him the shit out. Because I was told that if you're enchanted, he can at least like there's this.
Yeah, you can see the outlines. I forgot about that. Probably see like a chimerical firefly flying around him, and he's just trying to bat it away. Mm-hmm.
And he smells and hears all these things that aren't really there.
Yep.
So weird.
But do you know any of these skeletons in the closet, perhaps? Sahara? Or Pinball?
I have heard stories, but I do not think it would be proper for me, someone who has just traveled here to deliver a message, it would be proper to tell you. If that
Well,
makes sense.
sometimes, getting a perspective from multiple people is the best thing. You don't always want something from one source. That's 101 when it comes to knowledge, right? I mean, I remember when I had to do essays for school, they wanted, oh man, were they harping on about that? Multiple sources. Yeah, okay. Anyway.
Essays? What are those?
A what?
What is an essay?
Blunt at this moment. Yeah, I'm kind of curious.
An essay is when you have to write it's to test your knowledge of something. You write out what you think or what you know and try to extrapolate on it as a way to, again, test the knowledge of what you know. And in order to make a good essay, when you're learning in school, they want you to have multiple sources of where you got the information. So, for example, let's say I'm writing an essay about the sound striders. I would have to do research and information, probably talk to multiple sound striders. Maybe if there's a library of information, I go there and then I write out what I know of the sound striders, and then I hand it in. And then the teacher who is marking that essay tells me how well I did.
But if they know already of the topic, why would they make you?
To see if I know how well I know of the subject, and to see if there's gaps in my knowledge of what I'm supposed to learn. It's not for their sake, it's for the students.
That seems like an odd thing to do, but
it kind of is, but I mean, in some ways it helps.
if it helps, then I suppose it is good. I'm trying to see what you would actually know.
Do we have lores out of character?
He does. He rolls lores differently because we don't have actual lore dots. I've been told he rolls off occult and stuff like that, which confuses me because I don't know.
I don't know what level of it.
Which is why I've been kind of shooting in the dark and reining back because I'm not.
How much occult do you have?
Colt 1, I believe.
Yeah, I've got a Colt too.
So she's probably knows more than I do.
She probably knows something sketch.
Probably the War of Rage or the Impurge or
Or how about the Impergium? Yeah,
Impergium.
there we
or
go.
the Impergium.
She would probably know about the Impergium.
Ah,
Especially since you're a silent trader and you're just exploring around.
Yeah.
That's probably been mentioned a lot.
yeah, it is a silent. Yeah, it does seem something like that.
Because I don't think anyone's told him about the Impergium.
Oh Jesus!
That's
No.
usually something that they say for the end when it's like settled in and you're like, okay, you understand everything basic. You understand we're the good guys. Okay. Some baggage. Just want to let you know.
With a lot of baggage. She'll kind of sit there and you can clearly see her thinking, should I tell this? Should I tell him?
It's bad, isn't it? He says.
His skeleton in the closet doesn't get its name for anything, I suppose.
Fair enough. Again, if you don't want to tell me, you don't have to. But
It would probably be best that you know. Or at least you would know sooner or later.
Knowledge itself is a burden in its own right. The key is to be given that knowledge at the right time.
yeah. I remember some of the tales I learned about Odin. And yes, knowledge can definitely be addictive, and if you hear the tales of Lovecraft, can make you insane.
I don't know who this Lovecraft is, but gathering knowledge can be quite addictive. Yes.
I should give you. Can you read English?
I can. English and Arabic.
Well, next time I'm able to go to a store and buy a book, I should give you a copy of some of Lovecraft stuff.
I would appreciate it.
He nods.
I guess to get back to the topic at hand, I know some. It was quite a long time ago, but we call it the Impergium. The humans and OC, clear me up if I mess something up, because it's late and Kim's head is kind of screwy at the moment.
It's cool.
Okay. The humans were getting a little out of hand, so we sort of put them into, plainly describe it, camps. And we ruled them as dictators. We went around in our Krynos forms and had our way with them and the kinfolk, things of that nature. It was an unpleasant time for them, I would assume. Like I said, there isn't much I know about it, but what I do know isn't very pretty, and basically that is the gist of it.
He actually shifts up into Hamid, kind of pretty slowly.
And just to give an odd hint thing there, without since it'd be really hard to hear or smell him standing up, it's kind of an odd moment where for the first time, as he's standing, Pinball actually starts, his head actually follows.
Follows?
Yeah, like as he's standing up, it tilts up so that he's still looking at his head. Basically, because
the enchantment, right?
It'd be subtle, but definitely odd considering his normal pattern of behavior.
So, why were humans seen as a problem?
They were destroying the earth, and it is our duty to protect it. Well, I mean, I know you see how it was now. We tried to stop it early, but it was very ineffective.
Kind of looks out. If there's like a view of a town or a city, like in the far off distance, he kind of looks. And he kind of looks down. I thought it's the worm you fight.
It is.
But let me guess, the worm uses people.
Yes. Not only that, but we fight the worm not just because the worm is outside of the realm of what it is supposed to do.
Because it's supposed to
It is.
destroy.
Mm-hmm.
Not.
And it has become too eager in what it destroys.
Much, much too eager. It has thrown everything out of balance.
And that was the behind those actions which were corrected. And it's the basis upon why we fight the worm. Balance.
Also explains some of the things I would hear in the dining hall. Are humans our enemy?
No.
He says that very. He says that in a very like prepare for someone preparing him to say yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And while Pinball kind of pauses because he's trying to think of a way to word it, it's a very firm no.
Okay.
He instead of like delaying and making it sing, he just quickly fills the void. It seems like echo each other.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that not everyone agrees on that.
A few, but as with every community, no one always entirely agrees with one another. Sometimes the humans do the worm's bidding, and they must occasionally be stopped.
You saw during the fight that happened here on the Sept, occasionally even Guru do the worm's bidding, even if they don't know it.
Indeed.
Just like those silver fangs.
Unfortunately, we are not the great heroes we would always like to be, even the mightiest of all.
He kind of looks out, and if there's like a view of the city, just kind of says, yeah. Some of the Gar that you've talked to, are they scared of humans?
I can't speak for them, but I would say there are definitely a group that does.
Hmm. Mensch. He mutters a couple of words he learned in German, and it's very recognizable. I'm not sure if I'm not sure your characters would know since one's. Well,
Out of character, I might catch it, but in character, probably not.
Is it like Shysta?
he would say like, "Gracias to me." That makes sense. I would believe it. Because humanity is scared.
It is a mutual thing that goes both ways.
No, I mean, not this scared
We
of
are,
us. I mean, they're just scared. I remember when I was growing up, I always, even when those little memories when I was a little kid, just scared. I saw it in people all the time. He seems to like when you look at him, he seems to have like a like his if you could if Pinball Wizard, like, you know what, just to kind of do with enchanted with his enchantment, you can kind of see the top part of his aura. It looks like it's spinning. Like it's just like a big swirl of different like lights kind of going back and forth in and out of itself.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like all over the place. It's not like you could probably see that too, Zahara.
We'll kind of, walk over to him and then sit down and just kind of place a paw on his thigh, trying to be comforting, or his leg if he's sitting down.
I'd say he's just leaning against a tree.
Oh, in which case she just kind of walked over there and sat beside him then.
He smiles at you. You guys weren't born human. How do you feel about humans?
I just need to learn. Some have the capability to be bad. Some have the ability to be good. Just like we do, just like everything does.
Mm.
That is a very true statement.
So the question then shouldn't exactly be what do you think of humans, but a better question would be what do you think of a particular human? It's hard to judge all because of, they're all different.
I agree. Usually it's just a few bad guys that makes those just most people just want to live and have a quiet little corner in the world. You know what I mean?
Indeed.
It's just always those few guys that make it bad, and ordinary people have to pay, and nature too. He almost like actually rubs the tree, and like he's just kind of like it's almost like he's patting the tree as if it's a person, like, and smiling at it. Looks back down. Thank you for telling me.
It isn't a problem. I know that is probably not the only thing that is unpleasant in our history, but for now, that is the only thing that I sort of completely understand. It still might be better to ask others, perhaps those higher in rank than I am. Definitely those higher in rank than I am.
For sure. Let's hope they'll tell me.
Here's to hoping.
Guess what that's all about, right? That's what it's all about. He says.
If they are a wise leader, they will give you the knowledge not only that you seek, but are capable of handling, and not try and hide you from something that you can grasp and understand from a better perspective now that you are here.
He nods. By the way, out of character, Pinball, you were debating on having him say something to Cole?
I can't remember now. I think it's that moment passed, and now it's like out of my mind, so I can't even remember
Okay, fair enough.
that.
So he'll just say, "Well, I'm prepared to learn it. Maybe, oh, we're the future, I guess, right?"
Indeed.
Indeed.
Hopefully we can make it better.
I'd like that. How? He just says, and I guess that's the thing, Gar were very just like people, eh? All different shapes and sizes.
Very much so.
Okay. Like the sound of that. And he says, "Want to get something to eat?"
I like the sound of that.
Well, we can either hunt it or we can just head to the cabin. I think they're still cooking stuff.
Definitely.
I don't know about you. But after having to spend this entire month hunting for the Galliard here,
Yeah.
I think I am quite hunted out, especially when I don't get to partake.
That's true. I've been liking to do it because it's been nice practice, but it's he stretches and you hear some bones crack. It would be a nice break. So I guess he'll kind of like nod his head in a way for peeps to follow, and he'll guide Pinball Wizard if he wants to eat.
Yeah, he'll follow. He'll pick up his staff and.
Mm-hmm. And they eat some scrumdiddlyumptious food, unless there's anything else you want to talk about. Add in character if there's any topics or ideas.
I think he's just going to leave it on other people to bring up the whole, because he's already a Metis who's blind and he's crazy too on top of it. Fuck, let's just beat the shit out of him.
Okay, so he says, stupid. He says, and again, there's another Firefly. Probably he's like, stupid thing, and then maybe there's like a couple guard there that are like, what are you doing? And he says, Firefly, and then they look at him like, mm-hmm. However, Zahara, you can see the Firefly, and Pinball Wizard, you probably see like, I would think you'd see like an aura or something.
Mm-hmm.
She'll just sort of chuckle because now someone else is having to know what she has to go through, considering she can see spirits without having to go into the Umbrans. So she's always the one who sees weird stuff.
And he just shrugs and he continues to eat. But other than that, I think we'll end the scene there. Sounds good, guys?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you, people, for socializing. This has been Rage Across Scotland, signing out.